There are moments in life that don't need words to be remembered forever. You could be standing in a quiet room, not saying a single thing, and yet feel something so intense, so real, it shakes your sense of logic. It's not loud, it's not obvious, it's not even happening on the surface. It's in a glance, a look that lingers longer than it should. A flick of her eyes that says far more on her mouth ever will. A pause intime where everything slows down and her gaze stays locked on yours, like it's not just looking at you, but through you. And if you've ever experienced it even once, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not a game, it's not a test, it's not flirtation in the way most people understand it. It's a subtle, powerful signal that she's secretly attracted to you. But here's the brutal truth. Most men will miss it, not because they're stupid, not because they're weak, but because no one taught them to feel instead of chase, to observe instead of perform. In a world where most guys are busy checking their phones, overthinking their next move, or trying to impress her with clever lines, they completely evoke the most raw, primal language of all her eyes. Because here's what women will never say out loud, but you better believe it's true. The way a man responds to my gaze tells me everything about who he is. If he panics, she feels it. If he fidgets, she senses weakness. If he overreacts, too eager, too fast, too much, she pulls back. But if he dominates him, rare, if he simply notices, Eve calmly holds her gaze, not to win her, not to seduce her, but just to be with her in that unspoken moment. She feels it in her body. Her attraction isn't a choice anymore. It's a reaction, Bess. He's not just looking back. He's saying without words, I see you. I'm not chasing you, but I'm not afraid of you either. And that energy, the energy of a grounded, emotionally soft, is almost impossible to resist. This video is about that moment. The one she doesn't tell her friends about Bess. It felt too real. The one you didn't even realize meant something until she couldn't stop thinking about you afterward. We're going to break down the exact looks women give when they're as accurately attracted, how to recognize them, and how to respond with quiet confidence that makes her lean in emotionally without you saying a single word too much. If you've ever wondered what it looks like when a woman's desire slips through the cracks of her self-control, this is how you'll know. And more importantly, this is how you'll never miss the moment again. Welcome to Stoic Paradox, where we don't teach men to chase women, play mind games, or fake confidence with empty pickup lines. Hiru explore the silent, powerful dynamics that actually govern attraction, the emotional undercurrents most men never to read, and the invisible signals women are sending without ever saying a word. Today's topic might sound simple. If she looks at you like this, she's secretly attracted. But if you really understand what's happening beneath that look, you unlock a layer of female psychology most men will never access in their lifetime. Because attraction, real, raw, feminine attraction, isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. It's not something she announces. It's quiet, it's subtle, and it often shows up in the tiniest moment, the softest glance, the flicker of eye contact that most men are too distracted, too insecure, or too performance-focused to even notice. Bafa's the thing. Women are wired to communicate emotion indirectly, not because they're trying to confuse you, but because they feel everything. They pick up on energy. They feel emotional safety before they trust you with it, and often the very first way they show interest is through their eyes. A slight linger, look that holds for just 1 second too long, a playful sideways glance, a soft stare that drops to your mouth and back up again. To the untrained man, these are nothing but tough, emotionally aware men. The grounded stoic man who understands the power of presence. These are doorways. And when you can read these doorways with retreating, without overstepping, without to win her, you become the kind of man she's drawn to naturally without you having to do anything extra. That's why this video is important. Because most men, they'll wait for words, they'll wait for a text, they'll wait for permission. But a woman who's truly attracted to you will tell you long before she ever speaks. She'll tell you in a glance when you walk by. She'll tell you in the way she looks at Yahweh across the room. She'll tell you in the moment she turns her head, but her eyes stay, but only if you're awake enough to see it. In this video, we're going to break down 5 distinct looks woman gives when she's secretly attracted to you. We'll go deep into what each one really means, and most importantly how to respond in a way that amplifies attraction rather than kills it. This isn't about playing it cool. It's not about being alpha. It's not a beauty tricks. It's about being present. It's about leading with calm awareness. It's about knowing that when you lock eyes with a woman and don't flinch, don't perform, and don't collapse, you give her permission to feel what she already wants to feel around you. And that's where real desire lives. So, if you've ever had a moment where you felt something shift in her eyes, but where answer, what it meant, or if you want to become the kind of man who notices what most men miss and never needs to force a woman to notice him again, then stay with me. Because what you're about to learn will change the way you look at women and the way they look at you forever. 1. Repeat button, the hold and flick look. It starts subtle. You catch her eyes for a moment, maybe across the room, maybe just a few feet away. You're not sure if it was intentional until you realize she looked, then she looked away, then she looked again. It's fast, sometimes just 2 seconds, but if you're present enough, you feel it. This is not just a glance, this is a test, a feminine inquiry. Are you grounded enough to notice me without losing yourself? Women don't always initiate with words, they initiate with energy. And the eyes are the first place that energy leaks out. Here's the secret. When a woman looks at you and then flicks her gaze away, she's not necessarily uninterested. Often, it's the exact opposite. She's interested, but protecting her vulnerability. She gave you a piece of curiosity. Now, she's watching what you do with it. Will you break eye contact too fast, signaling low confidence? Will you stare too long, trying to dominate or seek validation? Or will you do the one thing that makes her body lean in? Will you simply notice, hold your center, and do nothing? Because this is where most men fail. They either overreact, fast, rushing into conversation, or puffing up their chest like a cartoon alpha, or they collapse inward looking way too quickly, second-guessing themselves, and telling their nervous system, this can't be real. A woman like her wouldn't look at me. But the man who passes this test doesn't flinch. He holds her eyes just long enough to ground her, not overpower her. Then let's go on his own terms, not out of it. It's this calm, quiet, control, that creates polarity. Because to the feminine nervous system, a man who can hold tension without needing to fix it is rare, and rare equals irresistible. So the next time you feel her eyes on you, and she flicks her gaze away, don't assume it means disinterest. Assume it's the beginning of a game you're already winning, as long as you don't chase the win. 2. Water wave the soft gaze with a slight smile. There's a moment when a woman stops evaluating you and starts feeling you. It doesn't look like seduction. It doesn't look like a test. It looks like relaxation. Her eyes soften, her body loses tension. And in that stillness, there's a half smile on her lips, barely there, but undeniably feminine. This is one of the purest signals of attraction, not Bacchus. She's turned on, but because she feels safe in your presence. Understand this, most women live in a near constant state of emotional vigilance. They're airing body language, filtering attention, protecting their space. So when a woman relaxes around you and her gaze reflects that softness, you've done something powerful. You've made her feel unrushed, unjudged, and unpressured. The soft gaze is not performance, it's presence. She's not giving you a flirtatious look to spark your interest. She's letting her walls come down. That slight smile isn't for you. It's for her, because something about you, your tone, your energy, your groundedness, has given her permission to enjoy herself. And here's the hard truth. Most men will ruin this moment the second it happens. They'll lean forward, they'll crack a joke, they'll to intensify what's already perfect. Why? Because they can't sit with that kind of peace, because they think attraction has to be chased. Forced one. But you do nothing. You sit in silence. You return her gaze with presence. You might smile slightly, but you don't push. And that makes her feel submitting. She doesn't feel often with men. I don't have to protect myself around him. That's when attraction shifts from curiosity to chemistry. So when you see the soft gaze with a faint smile, don't interrupt it. Don't speed it up. Let it bloom. Because in that moment her body is saying, I feel good around you, and I don't know why. Let her wander. Let her stay in that softness. That's where real connection starts. 3 eyes, the side eye and smile. Nowhere, entering playful territory. This isn't about subtle nervousness or emotional safety. This is her testing your social awareness, seeing if you're awake, not just conscious, but alive, in the moment. The side eye is what she throws when she's not ready to be fully oblivious, but she wants to make sure you saw her. She may look at you from across the room, not directly, but from an angle. Maybe she's talking to somebody else, but her attention keeps drifting back to you. Maybe she's pretending not to notice you, but her smile says otherwise. This is the look of feminine initiative. It's playful, it's deliberate, it's attraction wrapped in the mask of casual indifference. And here's what makes it powerful. She's putting Thebble in your court without ever giving you full control. She's saying, I'm giving you a signal, but I want to see if you can read between the lines. And if you're grounded, present, and confident, you'll meet it the right way. Not with a cocky smirk, not with an over-the-top reaction, just a soft, knowing smile, just awareness, because that's what she's testing. Not how fast you move, but how subtle you can be. A man who responds to side-eye with too much energy, he's not grounded. A man who misses it completely, he's not present. But a man who notices it, acknowledges it quietly, and holds his center, that's a man who gets her. And women will chase a man who gets them. Seth, next time you catch a side glance and a sly smile, don't lean in, don't divert, don't interrupt the game. Just let your eyes say back, I see you too, but I'm in no rush. And that's when the dynamic changes from a flirtation to a she can't stop thinking about. 4. Mouth, the eyes that pause in your lips. This one is raw. This one is primal. This one doesn't lie. Because when a woman's eyes fall to your lips, even for half a second, it's not just a signal of curiosity. It's desire, leaking through her self-control. This happens most often in mid-con conversation. You're talking, calm, controlled. You're not bragging. You're not trying. You're just, they're fully present. And then you notice it. Her eyes drift from your eyes down to your mouth and back again. She probably doesn't even realize it upon, but her body does. Her subconscious does. Her nervous system just took a screenshot of your presence and started imagining what it might feel like to be closer to you. Here's what most men don't realize. A woman doesn't stare at your lips because of what you are saying. She does it because, you're saying it, your tone, your calmness, your cadence, your stillness, all of that tells her this man is not seeking validation, he's rooted in himself, and that turns me on. Now, here's where most men mess it up. They catch the glance, then immediately pounce on it. They escalate too fast. They lean in too quickly. They interpret, look as go time, and just like that, the attraction dies. Why? Because the moment she feels that you need something from her, even if it's just a kiss or a moment of closeness, her feminine instincts pull away. Desire requires space, tension, unspoken energy, and the most magnetic men are the ones who can feel that space and not fill it. So, when you notice her eyes drifting toward your lips, don't react, don't rush, don't even smile too quickly, just let her linger in that moment. Because what she's truly craving isn't her kiss, it's your control. The kind of control that says, I felt that, too. But I'm in no hurry. I move when I decide, not when you blink. That energy, grounded, slow, deliberate, makes her trust your masculinity more than any pickup line ever could. So, let her eyes fall, let her wonder, let her imagine, and don't take the bait too early, because the man who doesn't rush us, the man she can't stop fantasizing about later. 5. Nazar amulet, the gaze of stillness. She doesn't look away. This one is different. This isn't play. This isn't a test. This isn't flirtation. This is depth. You're talking, or maybe not even talking. Angie looks at you and she just dozes off. She holds your eyes like she's trying to solve a mystery, not because he is confused, but because something about you pulls her in. It's not something you're doing. It's something you're being. This kind of look doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's unforgettable. Her eyes soften, but she's not just seeing you, she's feeling you. And here's the truth. This kind of gaze doesn't come from physical attraction alone. It comes from emotional resonance. She's sensing something beneath your surface. The silence you're not afraid of. The thoughts you don't blurt out. The calmness that doesn't chase or perform. And that stillness, that quiet emotional gravity, it makes her feel something she can't name. And that mystery pulls her in. Now, here's the key. Most men feel this gaze in panic, because when someone looks at you like that, really looks at you, it can feel vulnerable, exposed. So they laugh, or break eye contact, or fidget, or say something to full the silence. But you do not need that. You meet her stillness with your own, not in a dominating way. Button, a shared presence. You let the moment breathe, because here's what you know. The silence isn't awkward, it's sacred. That's when attraction becomes connection. Not because you touched her, not because you flirted, but because you made her feel safe enough to stay. And that kind of safety, emotional, spiritual, masculine, is what most women never find in a man. So when she gives you the gaze of stillness, don't interrupt it, don't analyze it, don't analyze it. Just let it be, because that's the kind of look that stays in her memory long after the moment has passed. And when she's lying awake at night wondering why she can't get you out of her mind, it won't be because of your words, it won't be because of your style. It'll be because of that one look where you held her eyes and said absolutely nothing, but everything in your silence made her feel something real. You've just learned something most men never will, that women don't always express attraction with words. They express it with presence, with tension, with the way they look at you when they think you're not paying attention. But no, you're not just paying attention. You're reading the moment, you're feeling the signal, and most importantly, you're not reacting, you're responding. This is what separates boys from men, chasers from leaders, noise from quiet power. Because when you stop performing and start noticing, you become the kind of man she doesn't forget, the kind of man she doesn't need to impress because he already feels complete without her. Now listen closely. If this video gave you clarity, if it hit something real inside you, if you want to go deeper into the psychology of attraction, stoic masculinity, and emotional self-mastery, then here's what I want you to do next. Backhand index, pointing right, subscribetto stoic stream. Because this isn't just another channel. It's a space for men who move in silence and build unshakable presence. Backhand index, pointing right. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever felt one of these looks from a woman and missed it? Or maybe you responded in the right way and something shifted. I read every comment. Your story might help another man come alive. Backhand index, pointing right. And most importantly, watch this next. Say this to any woman. She won't be able to resist you, because once you understand silent signals, you need to know the right words that match your energy. This is the new masculine era. Not loud, not fake, not desperate, but calm, certain, untouchable. Stay grounded, stay patient, and never your power away. Stoic paradox.